I ruined the ASMR.
Yeah, dude, we need ASMR. Okay, fine. I guess I'll fill in the blank. Sean, you can say hello to everybody.
I want to hear. I haven't heard that percolation for a while. I'm assuming you're going out of a water-based piece here. Are you? Oh, damn it. Oh, there it is. Now we're talking.
Yes.
Yes. And that's how we're kicking things off here in here in week 9. Jesus Christ, I can't believe we're in week 9 right now.
Dude, the season's just going fucking by. People keep dropping like flies.
Oh, yeah. Too many dropping like flies. It's ridiculous out there.
So, I gotta ask, have you had any like major severe injuries to deal with on your team?
I don't think I would say major severe in like nobody's gone. I had one guy go to IR, Rahid Shaheed from the Saints.
That's right. And you did
Um,
you ended up dropping him, didn't you?
I just dropped him. He's out for
Okay.
the season. So,
That's right. That's right.
but
He is.
I mean, AJ Brown missed several weeks earlier, and now I've got DK Metcalf who's out for this week. Lucky you, you bastard. But
Oh,
that's
is
two
that
weeks in a row for him.
that's that's confirmed now?
Yeah, it confirmed out this afternoon, so I just swapped him out of my lineup and put the Keon Coleman receiver from Buffalo in there.
Yeah, yeah. Scary still.
Yeah, he's been pretty good lately, but he still feels like a risk. So yeah, that's it. I mean, Jamison Williams is suspended for a couple games, but he's not, a super primary piece. So
You,
that's what I've been dealing with. Just yeah, I
you
mean
got my
the
you got
AJ Brown one would definitely fucking suck for a while. Also
yeah,
because I have Jalen Hurts, so that kind
right.
of took a toll there as well.
Right, absolutely. And man, Jalen had a fucking week last week.
That
Whew.
was he had 4 TDs last week. I
Jeez.
mean,
That's
need some of
great.
that. Need some more of that this week.
Yeah. I'd rather not. Who are the Eagles? But you guys are playing Jacksonville? Fuck me. That's
I don't know that Jacksonville's been pretty crap this year, so I don't know what the game flow is going to be like on that one. You never know
uh
though.
that that's gonna be a big game for us actually, just even looking at the lineup because
Dude, the
I got
Monday night game is going to be a big one for us. I think you have Mahomes and Kareem Hunt,
right.
and I have, Bucky Irving,
Yep.
assuming that he plays.
Jeez, man.
Oh, yeah,
Because
Monday night would be
you got
fun.
Mike Evans out
Yeah,
for
dude, I forgot. Fucking Mike Evans has been out too. So
that
yeah,
is
I
a big
haven't had
injury.
like a lot of season-ending injuries, but I have a lot of significant. My top three receivers have all now missed multiple games this year.
Yeah, I would say the big gut punch for me was Cooper Cup because that's
Yeah,
been missing for me for God a while, including a bye week. Yeah, 4 weeks.
yeah.
Or
I'm a
sorry,
little
no, sorry,
scared of.
4 weeks and a bye week.
Yeah, that was a big blow. And then last week he didn't really do much. Did you actually have him in your lineup last week?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, I mean, I would have too.
I,
I've been doing a little bit of like just some side betting through this underdog app, and
oh,
I thought
really?
it's just like little $5-10 bets where you can pick. It's like pick'ems where you just pick a few players to do some kind of over under on a
Cool.
particular stat.
Okay.
And I had Cooper Cup was something like he would have 65 or more yards. I thought he was going to feast last week, but then he obviously didn't.
I mean, he didn't do terrible. I would say for fantasy in our league, he had 5 receptions, 8 targets, 51 yards. So yeah, didn't get over the 60, but it did have a TD.
That's
So
true. He did have a TD. I forgot about that.
at least he's first game back. Hopefully, against Seattle. I mean, Seattle's definitely a better better. Well, I don't know. Minnesota seemed like they're pretty competent this year. Yeah, I'm. I know we've just like already gotten like right on into it, like talking
That's how
about
it goes right now.
we're
We're
talking
literally,
about our
hey,
matchup.
two podcasters are playing each other. We just immediately start talking about our
Yeah, you know what? It's not
matchup.
really important what else is going on. No,
Exactly.
that's not true. Not true, you guys. Stick around,
No,
please. Don't
so
drop off.
we're over the halfway point by a
Hmm.
decent margin now, which is pretty crazy.
So
And there's a
what's
lot of action is like pretty jammed up for the most part in the standings here.
yeah. Speaking of action, I did see that notification about uh the trade.
Oh,
Uh
that's right. That's right. We had a
uh
little trade go on. Let's talk about that.
well, I haven't seen a single real response other than the two fucking people involved in the trade putting up fucking Matrix gifs, or GIFs, whatever we want to call them.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay, that's right. I had to remind myself on the trade. Yeah, I mean it's not a blockbuster trade by any means, but it's always fun to see a little side action going on there. And then I was asking Nick about it this morning too, just to like get his take on the trade. And I mean, he basically said like he wasn't going to play Jaden Reed this week anyways, and he's got a little injury that he's dealing with, and then they have a bye, I think, the next week. So he was like, T. Higgins, he might not play this week either, but it's not like he was going to play Jaden on the other side. So he was just
yeah.
thinking about a guy that could blow up, or he's been really good. Tegan's been super good this year already, but like maybe a good back half of the season pick. And I know there's some speculation about T. Higgins maybe getting traded away too. Have
Well,
you heard about that?
I haven't heard about the T. Higgins one. I was actually, the fucking website does kind of suck when it comes to trying to look at some of this stuff. So let me pull that on up. Okay. All right. So I found the page to process the trade. I don't think anybody's had anything to say about this or anything. Like, do you think there should be like a notification put on up, like any uh objections, put them in by tomorrow or something? Well, wait a minute. Tomorrow be by the
When's
time
this
they
trade
listen to it.
supposed to process? Oh, on Sunday. So they would effectively have
I think
these
that
guys. Well, T. Higgins isn't even playing this week, but maybe Chris would really want to have Jaden Reed for this week, though.
yeah, I mean, I haven't seen any objections to it.
I can't
So
imagine anybody would object. This is such a like, okay, I don't know who. There's no clear winner or loser. It seems like a pretty fair, even trade.
yeah, I mean, let's see. T. Higgins, let's see, how's he been doing this year? He's been effective when he's been.
He's been really good. I mean, he missed the first two games and then came back, and he's been pretty dang good. But he's injured. He's doubtful for playing this week. So, but Nick already knew that.
Yeah, I just
And
personally
Jaden
think,
Reed's been pretty up and down. Like he has
yeah,
a couple huge monster games, but and a couple decent ones, and then a couple duds in there as well.
yeah, and so I was gonna actually say, like, what's his name? So you got Romeo Dobbs, or Dubs, whatever, uh,
Yep.
coming on back. You got the Christian Watson coming on back.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people that are gonna eat on into Jaden Reed's. Huh? I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't really have an issue, and I guess if anybody bitches or complains, well, I don't know. I guess it'll be over with. But
I mean, I would think too, if you, I don't really remember what our processing times are for a trade. I mean, it obviously says it'll go through on Sunday. I would assume that means Sunday morning before the games are. But like, if you put a trade in on a Thursday, like,
doesn't the
seems
commissioner
like you
have to?
should.
Doesn't the commissioner have to approve the trade, or is just as long as nobody objects
I
to it
don't.
or
No, I
vetoes
don't
it,
think
it'll
you.
go
I don't
through?
think you have to. I'm not 100% positive, but if you just click on the trade offer, like I clicked on it right now, it said this trade will take effect on Sunday. So I
Okay.
think that's what would happen if you didn't do anything. So I
Okay.
think it's fine either way. I think you
You
can
know,
just
then just
leave
leave
it.
it. Okay. Good, good notice. Um,
Yeah, but it's nice to see a little trade action.
I love trades.
It's fun. Shake things
It's
up a little bit.
it's nice to see things going on in the league, and I guess we
That's
could.
what it is. Signs of life. People are trying to do stuff, wheel and deal. Like they're actively in the league. It's less fun, obviously, when there's like no action going on and no one's talking or doing anything. So I love any and all action going on is good.
Yeah, I agree. So, looking at the standings as they are after 8 games into week 9, what do we what kind of thoughts we have? I see at
I
least 6 teams. What is it? Six? No, wait. One, two, three. Yeah. That all seem like they're vying for a spot. A couple other
yeah,
frustrations.
yes. There's like a six team kind of a log jam in the middle where they're all one game apart that are like right now if we were doing playoffs that they'd be fighting for that the last spot in there.
Yeah.
I would say overall, I mean everybody is very well in the picture, except it's just hard to think that Will has really any chance at this point. I mean he's 3 games behind sixth place right now, and also 100 points behind the person in six. Like that's a significant hill to climb in the next 6 weeks. I
Mm-hmm.
guess it's mathematically possible, but like shit, you'd have to have so many different things fall in place all at the same time.
True. True. I mean, it's so interesting. His team is super, super interesting. Like obviously he lost Pacheco and I don't know looking at it. No, I guess Pacheco is still not ready to come on in yet. Um, but
I'm actually gonna go look back at the draft. Okay, so interesting. He drafted Jordan Love for $5 at quarterback, but he ended up dropping him or
yeah,
something, right? And
well,
then
because I think
Nick picked him up.
I think he was injured, wasn't he?
He was
Jordan,
injured, yeah. And then he's been pretty fucking good
yeah,
ever
he
since
has.
then. Like really fucking good.
Yeah, last let's see, since week 4, 47, 26, 44, 28, and had a bad week against Jacksonville last week.
Okay. Yeah, looking at the draft, you can kind of see it's pretty obvious where things fell off for Will pretty quickly. Like he lost Isaiah Pacheco very early.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Mixon was injured for a lot of the first half of the season. Now he's fucking awesome, but he
God,
missed a lot of time.
he is awesome. It's just that
Tyreek
that
Hill has been absolute shit
well,
because of the quarterback situation.
right. And now that
Now things are coming back.
so I mean, I will say Will can't he basically can't lose for the rest of the year. He's got to
Yeah.
at some point he's got to win out, and he has had the
He would be 7-7 if he won out. And even that is questionable if you're actually gonna like sneak into the last spot or not in a normal year.
yeah, it's
So
tough. That's
yeah, it is possible. We've seen people go on 6 game or I feel like at least 6 game win streaks.
hmm
I can recall I feel like one year Chris went on a crazy win streak. I feel like Phil went on
yes.
a win streak at the end
hmm
of last year.
hmm
So there's been other ones too. So still something to play for, no doubt.
Yeah, I just man, it's I think his team is on the up. Like, dude, I mean,
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Stafford last week fucking threw for 41.
Yeah. Yeah, and like Mixon's going off, Tyreek
Mm-hmm.
Hill is back.
Montgomery's
Um
not been terrible.
yeah, dude, Montgomery's been good. He's like a touchdown machine.
Amari
Um
Cooper's now on Buffalo.
right, like that could definitely improve in the second half.
Trey
Will is
McBride has actually looked pretty solid over the last like 4 weeks.
Has he? Okay. So like that's a serviceable piece right there.
Calvin Ridley, yeah, on the Titans, I would just say that's just pretty tough.
Yeah,
Although
that's just a tough situation.
last week though, he did fucking have 15 targets, 10 receptions, 143 yards.
Oh, dude. Yeah, that reminds me. Last week, so Phil, or sorry, not Phil, Will had the matchup with Chris where it came down to like the last fucking almost play of the game on Monday Night Football. And Chris snuck it out like on the last
Hmm.
completion of Monday night. So like Will scored a ton. He was one of the higher scorers last week, but still got the L.
Yeah, what was the let me see, what was the Monday night game? Is that was the Giants, right? Giants in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, Giants
Okay,
and
yeah.
Steelers. Yep.
Yeah, so Chris had Malik Neighbors going and
Yep.
what
Will
he
had Najee
Najee, yeah.
Harris, and Najee was having one of his best games, a
Yeah,
great game, and Neighbors wasn't doing too much, but
did
the game
enough.
script kind of like was almost favorable for both of them because the Steelers were up pretty big in the second half, so they could just feed Najee pretty well. But on the flip side, the Giants needed to throw the ball, so that helps Neighbors. And then it was like that last drive, the last completion. Neighbors got like a 17-yard catch or something in that 2 point whatever points. Put him over the top right there.
Yeah, it's too bad. And Will had fucking Calvin Ridley on his bench with 28
Ooh,
points.
dang, that sucks. Yeah.
And
Did
Trey McBride on his bench with 26.
Well, Chris did have Kyle Pitts on
On
his
his
bench
Yep,
for 27,
yeah, he
so
did.
yeah, that's tough, man. Yeah, Will is the number one for most points scored against him this year.
Mm,
But he's the lowest for points scored. So
I
it's
think
kind
that's
of weird. I feel like, dude, correct me if I'm wrong or if I'm just making this up right now, but I feel like that happens somewhat regularly where maybe that's just what it is. Like the last place team isn't scoring a lot and they're having a lot scored against them. So that's just going to put you in last place. But it's just weird. I don't know.
I,
Like,
I
why
would
both?
I I don't know. I would say that the fantasy gods decide what they decide. You know, they
Oh,
are
yeah.
they are cruel when they want to be cruel. They're fucking bountiful when they want to, bestow
Yeah.
glory
They
on you.
are unpredictable, unwavering, pretty brutal at times.
I mean, I would say like for like Joey, for instance, like pretty brutal probably sounds about right because he's definitely had some unfortunate injury luck, I guess you could
Yeah.
say.
But
But
he's pretty much got everybody back. It didn't last that long. That 1 week was insane, and I was at his house. We were watching the games together that day, and it was like with this 10 to 15 minute period where like three guys just went out. It was like, oh, is that Olave going out? Holy shit! Hey, is that Harrison going into the injury tent? Like,
yeah,
oh
they're
my
all
God, did Achan go out? Like, what's going on here?
yeah, everybody, you're right. Everybody is currently back in right now.
Yeah,
So, I
yeah.
mean, like I feel the same for Joey. Like I feel like Joey's got better days like ahead.
Yeah, his team
Um,
looks good if you just look at what it is right now,
mhm.
and
Yeah,
even Lad McConkey blew up last week too.
yeah, dude, Jaden Daniels has been excellent, other than like one game last week against Carolina of all teams. But I think
Yeah,
isn't that where he go out in that
maybe
game?
yeah he did actually. That was the week I was playing Joey,
Okay,
and he went out like really early in that game, in, like the first quarter.
okay, there you go. But other than that, like he's been fucking stellar. So Bijan has been great. One of the
I like your pronunciation. It makes it sound like French and fancy.
I,
Bijan Robinson.
I just keep thinking about Dijon, like mustard. I don't know. I think Chris did
So
that
you
with
would
one of
say,
his
so you would
names.
say, pass me the Dijon. You wouldn't say, pass me the Dijon,
I
right?
might say Dijon, but of course I did smoke a big fat bowl right before this, so I had no idea what I would
It could
say.
go either way,
Yeah,
depending on what mood you're in.
exactly. Uh,
Yep.
It's just how it goes.
Yep. But yeah, I think Joey's team, it like I wouldn't be super excited to play against Joey's team right now. Like, definitely his team could do some damage, and
Hmm.
even though he's 3-5,
Well, that
that's
this is
only one win away from people that are in fifth and sixth place right now.
yeah. See, this is where I feel it's like there are those six teams that we were talking about that are, stuck in the big log jam, but at the same time, uh, Joey and Nick right above him, also at 3-5, um, like they're not like out by any means.
No, oh
Like
no way. And Nick, especially, I think. Well, Nick might be. Is he the second or third highest scoring team in our league? So like that's
I think
really
right
he's
now
number
he
two.
is
He's
who's
the
the
second most, and Chris is number one.
oh yeah, Chris is 1168, Nick's 1142. Okay.
Yeah, so that definitely helps. I mean, there's still a lot of time, a lot of points are gonna shift around, but like being on the higher echelon of points is definitely gonna help when you're kind of fighting around that bubble spot right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So all you need to do is just start stacking those wins or try
Yep.
to at least get like kind
You
of
can
claw your
control
way.
your own destiny a little bit more than hoping that somebody else loses. That
Yeah.
always sucks. I've felt that many times where I'm like, fuck, I need this person to lose or I'm done.
Yeah. I mean, it always makes it exciting.
Yeah,
I like the fact that we have more or less a very competitive league. Like
I'd say
that.
very competitive. Um, it's like you really have to be on it with picking people up when like breaking news happens, or really being smart about your waiver claims and spending money. Like it's just rare that there's like some like really usable player that's out there for the pickup right now. Like I even looked today. I was like, is there like a flex person I should look at because DK is out? I was just
Mhm.
curious what's out there. I'm like, dude, there's nothing out there right now. I
Not
wouldn't
right
pick up
now.
anybody.
No, I would say the interesting thing about our league is that not only on the waivers, but also just, when waivers open up, um, people are just sly with a lot of these pickups, and there are definitely with as
Yeah.
many injuries and as kind of a frustrating as a football season as it's been for, I guess what we thought were going to be pretty productive teams being more or less kind of dog shit. Uh, there's a lot of names I can think of, but they're escaping me right now. That's
Wait,
okay.
which names are you talking about? Or like what kind of
Like,
players?
well, like, okay, who would you say this year has been like in the NFL has been a severe disappointment?
Um, Damn, that's a good question because so many of them have been
Hmm.
injury related where it's hard to blame the player. Fuck.
But not necessarily injury related. Like just people or teams that you had high expectations for that. Like I would say the Jets is
Dude,
the easy one to mention, just because everybody
that
thought they were
yeah.
going to be great. I mean, they did win, and what's his name? Garrett Wilson had that. I did see that fucking highlight, which looked fucking ridiculous. That that one
Oh,
handed
dude, the touchdown
that
catch.
one
Yeah,
yeah
that
that
thing
one
was
handed
sick.
catch. Um,
Yeah.
so
Oh, so you're talking about teams that have been disappointing so
I guess
far?
yeah, teams like players. So it's like I mean, not to say like who has Garrett Wilson, by the way. Is it me?
John does.
John does.
Yeah. He's been playing him, so he's been riding through it. Oh, I guess one team and with players that have been pretty disappointing, like save for some weeks here and there, would be like the Cowboys, Dak,
For
and
sure.
CD on
Yeah.
Misha's team. Like, I mean, they had a huge one last week, but that's
Have
been
have
questionable.
yeah, has been pretty disappointing for sure. And it's funny
Yeah.
now that let's see. Misha's also rocking Caleb Williams. I don't see for some reason on the website his stats aren't fucking loading, which is weird, but whatever. Um yeah, man, CD had 45 last week.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of other players that have been really disappointing. Like I'm actually looking at our draft results right now. Like I guess one that sticks out is Travis Etienne
Hmm.
on Jacksonville. Like he was a $44 running back that Phil drafted, and he's been not good this year.
Dude, it's kind of crazy.
But there's just so many injuries, man. Like I'm so many names where I'm like, oh, that was a bust. That's a bust. But most of them are like injury related.
Yeah, true. Oh, did I lose? Oh, you're still here, right? Okay. Thought
Yeah.
it
Did
looked like it looked like my internet just hicked up. It like had a hiccup for a second. So okay, good. Looks like we're still recording. Looks like everything's going. Everything's fine.
okay, sweet. All right,
Everything's
sweet.
fine. Fine.
we can't afford to lose this.
Yeah. I know we're getting like a little bit distracted,
Yeah, getting in the
talking.
weeds.
Well, that's okay.
As we
That,
do, as we do.
that's what I
But
was
yeah,
told.
then we've got Nate and Misha and then John all at 4-4. So they're kind of really rounding out like the bubble teams right now. But I mean,
Did
like,
we barely talk about Nick's team other than him having like the points?
yeah, we haven't talked too much about. I feel like we talk about Nick's team a lot,
Oh,
in
okay.
general for some reason. But he has a
I
couple
I can hear
interesting.
him just yelling at the fucking like a podcast right now. Like, stop.
I love that little Kate Otten pick that he got.
Mm,
Just he's been feasting with all the injuries at wide receiver on Tampa Bay, so I think that's going to be nice for Nick. And
mm-hmm.
man, Derrick Henry has been a man amongst boys out there, and that Lamar Jackson trade with Brees. I mean, I gotta say, Brees has had some good weeks, but I feel like Nick's gotten the better end of that trade so
The way
far.
better end of that trade.
Hmm.
Lamar Jackson is the number one player in fantasy football.
And he's so fucking consistent. Like he doesn't have. I'm trying to look back. His worst week is 26 points, and he's
Uh,
had multiple 50 burgers.
which is insane. Multiple 50s.
Yeah, Jesus, dude.
So,
Nothing in the 40s. Oh no, the first week was in the 40s. But yeah. God, Lamar's super good.
hmm.
Um I mean, Amon Ra's been pretty ho hum, I would say, this year. Honestly, there's even though the Detroit Lions have been so fucking good
Yeah,
this year,
they
they're
have
like, but
been.
they're running the ball like crazy. So, and they're getting up by, they're just like crushing teams, so they're not having to throw it around a ton.
Man, this is gonna be interesting. So who's the
I
Nick?
wonder if Chubb, yeah, Chubb. No, Chubb has not been very good in his two games back so far. I
Well,
wonder how that will play out.
Now Jameis is starting, so
That's true.
it's
That could
gonna
be
be,
helpful.
yeah, that could be very helpful. It could be a different Cleveland Browns team. So yeah,
Yeah, that is
that
true.
that'd be
Ooh,
interesting.
actually, and Nick, I can't remember if he got this player, if he paid on waivers. I'm actually going to go check real quick. Nope, he just added this player on free agency a few weeks ago. Tyrone Tracy on the
Mm-hmm.
Giants
Yeah,
has been a real nice,
yeah.
just freebie pick right there. I'm pretty
He,
jealous of that one.
yeah. 3 out of the last 4 weeks have been awesome games. So
Hmm.
yeah, that's a good, it's a good pickup.
Josh Downs on his bench has been pretty good. I mean, kind of up and down, but some big weeks too. So, yeah, I mean, Nick's team has the way it strikes me is he has like half of it is super fucking scary, high powered, and then the other half you kind of have to make some lineup decisions week to week, but there
Mm-hmm.
are like good pieces to pick
Yeah,
from, but
he's
you
got.
gotta you gotta pick right though.
And I will say it does, this does heavily rely on how the Ravens do. So if the Ravens don't have,
Yeah,
if they have another
yeah,
like Raiders week, I mean, even still, even in that Raiders week, Lamar had like 25 points. So,
yeah.
uh, but at the same time, yeah, his team is looking great. And the I would say, yeah, for both Joey and Nick, I would say uh, they're not out of it by any
No. Oh
stretch.
no, no, not at all. Not at all.
because like you got this block of the three teams, Nate, Misha, and John. Um, the point difference is a little bit of a stretch, I guess. Like John's got what is it, 11-11. Nate the lowest at 1046. Misha just a
Yeah.
little bit higher at 10 was at
So it's
89.
all within 100 or
Yeah,
less than that.
so all these guys are really close together. 4-4.
Mhm.
I know John and I had a really close game last week. Fuck, that was definitely stressful. I thought I was beat. I thought I was done. And fucking goddamn
That was
Jake
close. That's a
cooked.
close game.
It was a close
He
game.
cooked 34.3. Yeah, man. Good
Yeah,
God.
put me over. Can't believe Kirk Cousin had fucking 45 on my bench.
Oh yeah, man. He's only had a couple of those games, right? Like,
No, yeah, he's only had
yeah.
like he had the
The
one against Tampa Bay.
58er.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah, I remember. Oh,
they're
they're both
they're
against
both
Tampa
against
Bay.
Tampa Bay, dude. The first one he almost had 60.
God. Yeah, I remember watching that game. That was a fun game to watch. But yeah, that's like pick him on the good week and you're gonna get paid. But Mahomes, had a nice little week last week too,
Yeah,
though.
decent week. I would say, man, I don't know. You know what really scares me about our week or sorry, our matchup this week is
What's that?
fucking Mooney. That fucking
Oh,
son of a bitch. Like getting all that Kirk Cousins love. And just like,
I
no, that
know,
needs to
dude.
go Drake's way. God damn it. Let it go Drake's
Oh, I
way.
didn't even notice that you had. Yeah, that's right. You got Drake versus Mooney. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's another little interesting piece for our
God, we
matchup
keep
here. So that's
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, we're trying our very best not to talk about
Dude, it's like
it.
the fantasy gods just want us to talk about it all the time.
That's the way it goes. But anyway, like okay,
Yep.
So Nate at 4-4. I mean, he you got Jared Allen. I feel like you always got a decent shot. He's the number what 6 overall player in fantasy, number 4 QB. Uh, he's got Devontae now with Aaron Rodgers again, so that could be possibly very productive. Got uh, him against Arizona this week, and then Indy next week, and then a bye. But even still, that could be a nice little wave that Nate could ride. I would say a huge disappointment would be Kelsey. I mean, last week he finally got like his very first fucking touchdown of the season, which is
Yeah.
crazy to think it's week 8 and that's Kelsey's first touchdown.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but had 10 receptions for 90. So
Right. Maybe that's a signal of things to come. I mean, yeah,
possibly,
don't know.
I mean,
Maybe having DeAndre Hopkins somehow just helps overall, like just less coverage on Kelsey. I don't know.
maybe. I was also gonna say DeAndre Swift. Like
That's
since
been
week
a really
4.
nice piece, a
Mm-hmm.
surprising piece. I don't
Yeah.
remember him being that good.
I think he was all right with Detroit, but not like that.
Yeah, yeah, that's been nice.
I mean,
Um,
I didn't even.
Devonte Adams just had a nice game.
Yeah. It sucks because he did just lose Stephon Diggs. Uh,
Yeah, that's true. That does hurt a bit. Was
uh,
Diggs? He was pretty up and down this year, wasn't he?
I mean,
Yeah,
let's
I guess he
see.
was a little more up than down.
Yeah, he only had 2 games that were below 10
Yeah,
points.
true, true.
So I would say, yeah, he was definitely a serviceable. Like maybe not your over, maybe not your number one. I mean, how's Pittman been doing? Not great. Um,
Yeah, that's a little dicey. Kenneth Walker's been good. I mean, last
yeah,
week was kind of a weird game situation for Seattle, but overall he's been
yeah,
a
he's been
nice when he's in, he's nice.
yeah, been really decent. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with Debo. Debo's kind of been the same thing, kind of like been up a lot of
Yeah,
weeks,
he's
but
missed time and he's had to exit some games.
hmm
His body is not doing well right
but he,
now.
I would say if when he does play, he's definitely productive.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly.
So, I mean, I would say Nate's team is definitely one to contend with.
Yeah,
Uh,
and Brees can always go off. He hasn't been consistent this year, but still, I don't like playing against him because you just always have that fear that Brees could have a big game.
yeah, and funny enough, we did just talk about Nick's team. Nick and Nate are going up against each other, and Nate's already had a couple
Ah,
players play each other this week. He's had Brees Hall, who didn't have the greatest game,
ooh, that's
12.5.
true. Nick's gotta feel real good about that. Actually, I didn't think about that
Yeah.
till right now.
Devontae did have a touchdown, did have like 91, 7 receptions. Like
Yeah,
he's
that's a
sitting
nice
at
game.
23. So, I mean, not to say that Nick doesn't have the weapons, but this is going to be an interesting. I think this is going to be a high scoring game between the two of these guys. I could say that this could be with Josh Allen against Lamar Jackson. This could be the highest scoring game like of the week for that's one of my predictions. This will be the point fest of
Yeah,
the
I could
week.
see it. I don't know. I don't know if I'd put my stamp on it just without looking at the rest, but I could see it. Yeah.
And talking about Misha's team, now we've already gone over a
Yeah, I
little
want to
bit with
zero
like
in here.
Dak and CD. Like hopefully whatever happened last week will kind of continue. Like CD hasn't been horrible. He's been the number 5 wideout this year. Um, it's just I feel like you're looking.
Mostly, I think because of last week and then maybe like week 4. But if you look at some of the other ones, it's like 12, 10, 15.
Hmm.
It's just not what you would expect from CD.
No, no,
But
you would
if
hope.
yeah, if last week was the turnaround, then and I do remember that from last year that Dak and CD were like second half big time because I ended up trading with Nate last year and I
Hmm.
got both of those players and like they came out big in the second half too.
Right.
So maybe that's just kind of how they operate here.
That could be. They've been taking all the shit for so long that they have to like turn it around, have some sort of miracle season, sell a lot of tickets, and then lose in the first round of
Yeah,
the playoffs.
Kyron has been amazing,
Hmm.
super consistent. I mean, his lowest output for a week is 16.2, but most of them are in the 20s. So
Yeah,
like
it says he's the number.
I'll take that all fucking day.
Absolutely, it says he's a top 10 running back in the top
Yeah.
in six.
And
Uh,
then James Conner has been pretty damn good too. There's a
hmm.
few little dud weeks in there, but pretty fucking good overall.
Yeah, top 15. Uh,
Oh man, and actually, yeah, Terry McLaurin's been super good.
hmm. Like
You got him for 15 bucks in the draft.
I would never have thought that Terry McLaurin going like 8 weeks into the season would be a top 10. I would
Dude,
not have
yeah.
put my money
Ever
down on
since
that.
week 3, he's been absolute fucking money. Obviously, having a really good quarterback will help you out with that. But
Hmm.
I didn't you have you've had Terry McLaurin before. I
I've
don't know
had
why.
him once, I
Oh, just
think.
one time? I don't
I
know why
think just
if
one
that
one
makes me
year
think of
I've had
that.
him.
Okay.
I might have had him maybe 2 years, but now we're getting. I mean, fuck, we've
Yeah,
been
yeah.
like Terry McLaurin has been around for a goddamn long time. Uh,
Yeah.
six or
Dude, I'm actually sorry, I totally cut you off there.
okay.
Let's talk more about Terry McLaurin.
Scary Terry. What was that? Oh, do you remember? Oh, it wasn't Terry, was it? Maybe it was Terry. There was this like commercial, like maybe it was like a Super Bowl commercial or something, like way back in the day. Maybe when like we were in high school or like right after we graduated, about this like office linebacker. Like it was like a linebacker that was like there to like uh
Terry Tate?
I don't think it was actually Terry Tate, but or
Okay.
I mean but it was like
Is
that.
that I
Like
just looked it up right now and it says Terry Tate, office linebacker,
or no, so fuck, who am I
Super
thinking
Bowl
of?
commercial.
That might be it. Okay. Yeah, maybe like yeah, you're right. It is the Terry Tate office linebacker. Fuck.
Yeah, that was dude. That was a good commercial. Just laying people out.
Ah, all right. That's. I feel like that's what. Maybe that's why. What I think of when I hear Scary Terry. I just think of that fucking
Yeah, that's a
commercial.
good. Yeah, that makes sense.
Anyway,
Speaking of scary, I mean, then you look down the rest. You got CeeDee Lamb for Misha, Puka, and Njoku. Um,
Puka had a
and then
great
he
game
has
last
then
week.
he has Hawkinson, who's finally gonna get back into some game action too here. So I am actually I'm pretty scared of Misha's team. I feel like I don't want to predict it because I don't want to will it into existence. So I'm like legitimately knocking on wood right now, but I wouldn't be shocked if Misha's team has a like really good second half of the year.
I mean, he very well could. I mean, he already started this week off really great. Got a defense that got him 13 points.
Yeah, yeah, getting double digits from your defense to on a Thursday night, that'll help. But then you got Garrett Wilson on the other side who got 31 against you, so
Yeah,
that's tough
dude.
too.
Jesus. Two touchdowns, one of them being that fucking highlight of the fucking year.
Man, what do you think? Was that better than the Odell Beckham catch?
I'd have to watch maybe like things back to back and just
I think
see.
it's better. I think it's better.
It's impressive. Like I dude, but that then again, like I feel like this is the NFL. Like, dude, I remember one of the sweetest plays I ever saw was a Chargers play where, God, it was that quarterback, Antonio Cromartie, that,
Oh yeah.
like somebody was like kicking like either a long field goal or something, and he ended up getting like a pick that or not like a pick but ended up like catching it or something and then like took it all the way for like 99 yards or 100 all the way back for a touchdown. Like, oh god, I remember having like a picture of that like play because he was just like leaning back like way like in
Yeah.
the air but like comes down and is able to like run it all back. It was fuck super impressive. But that's
Mm.
the NFL. These guys are superstars. That's why they get all the fucking big dollars.
Dude, I feel like if I was to make not even make a catch, but like put my body in that position where I'm fully stretched out to try and make a catch, like so many muscles and ligaments would just be torn like immediately and I'd just be crippled on the ground. Like
You
and the
remember
ball would just sail over my head.
when we all got together at the beach and we were like throwing the ball
Oh,
around, all taking
yes.
dives on the sand.
I do remember
Oh my
that.
god, dude, my body felt so beat up after that. That was when
Oh,
that was one of those other realizations like we're not as young as we used to be.
dude, and I gotta say, I don't know if this is just the way my memory wants to think about that time, but like I feel like we were going for it. Like we were doing legit
No,
play calling,
dude, absolutely.
quarterback, running routes, and like full sprint through the sand, trying
Dude, we
to,
were taking
catch it on the run.
absolutely. We were stretching our bodies out like we were taking the dives on the ground,
How did we think that we would be able to get away with that?
dude, we had been drinking at least, like, I want to say that's got to be one of the last times that Miller's was still around. And I'm sure we had quite a fucking bit to drink.
But
So,
that wasn't even on a football Sunday. That was on like a Saturday.
was it? Man,
Yeah.
I do not remember. I remember.
We wouldn't be caught dead playing catch at the beach if games were going on a Sunday.
Maybe. I don't, dude, honestly, the only
We
thing
went
I
to
do.
Mavericks. We went to Mavericks that
You
weekend
think it
because I
was
just remember
Mavericks?
it was because I had rented that Airbnb by the beach and stayed there for like almost a whole week.
Okay.
And I specifically remember going to Mavericks. It was my first time going there with you guys, and then we went to
Mm.
your house afterwards, and then coming back to that little Airbnb afterwards.
Man, Chris and I went there recently for the week that
I
we
miss
played.
it. Oh,
And
I
Jesus.
miss it. Where did you guys sit? Did you guys sit in like the kind of outdoor? Or did you get one of the indoor kind
A
of seats on the back?
As I remember, it was kind of an overcast day, as it turned out,
Oh,
but we
okay.
didn't. I don't think we really knew that was going to happen. We got there early in the morning and were able to get one of the tables inside. Um,
Nice.
and so, which I would say if we can get, if we ever get another group together, that is definitely a nice little setup because if it does turn out to be a hot sunny day, fuck it. Our table's inside
Oh
in the
yeah.
goddamn shade, and
Yep.
usually we've got a bar right in front of us,
Yeah, there's
and
I mean, so many TVs. You can still enjoy the non-TV views that Maverick so kindly offers.
it's a good time.
I miss it, man. Like there are no obviously no places like that up in Sacramento. I mean, I feel like that kind of a place is pretty rare. Like makes sense that it would be in a place like San Diego by the beach.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's more or less what helps it is the fact that it is by the beach, so you got a lot of foot traffic that's looking to have good times. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like
more of a
you're
like a destination kind of a
exactly like
place.
you're in a specific area that people don't necessarily like live. They all go to like they all like flock to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
um, maybe the vibe is a little bit different. But man,
Totally.
nothing beats or would beat that Miller's. Like when that place was
Ooh,
like going,
that was fun.
the amount of like random people that you would see there from like all over, like all the different fucking jerseys, like jerseys you would never think of, like Washington
It did.
Redskins or
Yeah.
Browns or
Like they have those fans?
yeah, dude, I remember seeing Jaguars fans there. Just like, who the fuck are you people? What the fuck is this? Jaguars fans? And this is back like before even the Blake Bortles days. Like, I can't even
Yeah.
remember who their fucking QBs were back then. I just remember like MJD. Like, that was it. Um,
Totally. I don't think
but
I ever one time sat downstairs at Miller's. It was always in that
seriously,
upstairs, and it would get pretty toasty up there in the afternoon.
yeah, it would. Downstairs, so the thing about downstairs is they were all like tables for the most part. I think they
Yeah.
did like kind of reorganize a little bit, but I feel
It was more like a real bar restaurant.
yes,
Like maybe you
yes.
would see like some parents with their kid, like a whatever, a teenage kid or something in there. But the upstairs was like rowdy. It was just
Mm-hmm.
like here's a bunch of random tables jammed up. Everyone's basically standing or on a stool for the most part, just bar all along the end over there. It's like that's everyone's there for the exact same reason.
So I don't know, maybe this is not necessarily true, but I feel like being upstairs because it was a lot smaller than the downstairs, it had its own bar along with
Yep.
it would seemed like its own wait staff.
Had its own
While
bathrooms.
right, had its own bathrooms. While food might have taken a little while, maybe to get on up there, drinks were aplenty.
Oh
And
my God. Like
and
too easy.
yeah,
You
too
walk,
easy.
if it's not being served to you, you just
Yep,
take
just
three
walk
steps and just
and
go to
walk. Yeah,
the
go right to
bar
the
right
bar.
there. It's like,
Exactly.
dude, yeah, it's dangerous up here. And then you got like those beer towers that we would
Oh,
get
those are the best.
sometimes.
Those are the
Like,
best. Dude, they used
yeah.
to, those used to be just $20.
Hmm.
God, $20 for that big thing, and then literally how many glasses does that thing serve? Like between everybody, it was great. It was
You know,
awesome.
as much as it sucks that it's not there anymore, it's like they say, it's better to have loved and lost than to have
Yeah,
never loved at
then law.
all.
Not going to say that Mavericks is not a decent replacement because
It's a good consolation. It's
it,
different,
it's
it's
different.
obviously way
It's
nicer. Like it's
it's
so clean and it's
it
huge.
and
I love it.
it
But
brings
it's a different feel though.
it's a different feel because I would say it
Yeah.
brings a slightly different crowd. We
Yeah.
don't necessarily
The
need to go.
clientele is let's say not rooting around through the garbage bins
No,
after the game's over, let's say.
no, 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 no. It's an enjoyable experience for most of everybody who goes. Okay,
Yeah,
so we're getting
exactly.
all right, more even into the
Ah, that
weeds.
was a nice. I like that was nice. I
Yeah,
needed
let's let us
that.
segue on into what about Mr. Antonio Pierce uh,
Ah, the
nips,
nipple.
the
Free
nips.
the nipple.
We've talked about Garrett Wilson, who had a, great game this last Thursday, and John's
Jameer
team.
Gibbs and Saquon, although Saquon had a not amazing game last week, he's been a great fit on the Eagles. That's been
Absolutely,
nice.
he's the third. It says third in
Yep.
third ranked running back.
Yeah.
So absolutely, like John's team,
Ooh, he's
last
got the
week
third
was.
and the seventh ranked running backs.
Hmm.
That's nice.
Dude, I mean, it was a tough week. Like, I'm surprised that it got to the score that it did, but yeah, it was 161 to 157. Like, John is one of the higher or highest scoring teams. Like, so where is he? Like, so he's under you, uh, under Chris,
That's where
obviously,
I
and
like John
under,
to be in every aspect of my life.
yeah.
He's only 11 points behind me, so he's fourth score in points. You know,
Okay,
one of the few teams in the 1100s
right.
for points scored. So yeah, he's got a good little advantage, but it's not that the point differential is not that crazy in our league though.
It's
So
not,
I think there'll still be a lot of shaking around.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's terribly drastic. Um, I mean, yeah, I would definitely say Chris and Nick have a nice little. They're what, like Chris is pretty close to 1200, like almost like what,
Yeah,
32 away, 40,
yeah,
32 away.
32 away. Yep. And I mean, John's only about 50 or so points behind him. So
Hmm.
55 or whatever.
Yeah, no, it's and John's team is definitely well stacked and scary. Like Darnold has been surprisingly great
I
for
think this is going to be his first time playing
starting.
Darnold.
Yeah, because he's had Stroud, who was also great this season.
I mean, yeah, good job on benching Stroud this week.
Jeez, that's he's had like, yeah, his last 3 weeks haven't been great. He had a 24 against Indiana, but
Yeah, seven. Yeah, he's struggling a bit lately. So yeah, good bench on that one. Um, J.K. Dobbins is interesting. He started off super good and kind of come back to life, but
a little. Like I
a
think
little bit, yeah,
I think as much as I understand, like I think they've had a bunch of injuries on the offensive line. There's been some inconsistencies there. Like that team definitely was absolutely gutted, and they have a long way to go. I think
yeah,
it's definitely very much a rebuild for that Chargers team. So I I
yeah,
I, I will say that I like Dobbins where he is. Like, he's like your second, flex, right?
yeah.
Like that's
Flex type.
I think that's a
Man,
totally safe thing. If he ends up going
I
off, it's going to be great to have.
I'm fucking pissed at John, to be honest. This is bullshit. I don't like looking at his lineup actually, because my first thought that I was having was everybody in his starting lineup right now, I would say, is an unquestioned starter. Like,
Hmm.
I don't see anybody where I'm like, oh, I don't know. I could argue going one way or the other. Like, I think you play all these guys.
Yeah.
And then this motherfucker has two running backs in his two fucking flexes. Like,
Hmm.
there are starving owners out here in our league who can't even figure out who their second running back should be, and you've got fucking four in your roster. I'm pissed. I will
I
say I'm
dude,
very
I
pissed.
Nick also had this fucking thing where he had Chubbs, he had all these other fucking backs. So he's got the Tracy, obviously you talked about, Derrick Henry.
Oh yeah,
Um, he's got what is this guy's name? Oh, Braylon Allen. So that's
yeah,
Brees's
that's a
backup.
bench
Yeah, that's a
guy. Yeah,
bench guy. Ray Davis, another kind of bench guy. Um,
yeah. There's a few others. I think like Phil has a lot of running backs. When CMC comes back, that'll be an embarrassment of riches. But yeah, I mean, four unquestioned starting running backs in this year of football and fantasy, where running backs are so tough to come by.
hmm.
I'm sick. I'm sick. I'm throwing up in my mouth. I just
He
hate seeing that.
He's also got a couple backups on his bench with Dalvin and
No, he does not. I don't even want to look at his
yeah, he
bench. Yeah,
does.
Dalvin, Rico. I know. Brian, I'm fucking sick to my stomach right now. I can't look at a dessert menu and I've been vomiting in the bathroom this
Well,
whole
dude, we're
dinner.
going like we have to go to Phil's team next because he's next in the list.
Ah,
So, I mean, dude, this guy is sitting with ETN and McCaffrey, like on his bench, obviously unavailable. Nico Collins had gone on out, uh, and this guy is still 4-4, doing like totally fine. He's sitting in fourth place. Like,
he's
dude,
5-3.
where is he? 5-3. Oh, you're right, five and
Oh
three.
yeah.
Five and
Yeah.
three, yeah. So
Oh
you
man,
got John
yeah.
at 4-4, Phil at 5-3. Like this guy is
Yep.
loving life.
Yeah. Seriously. I know.
And even with McCaffrey, what he had no games, like
No
nothing,
games this year yet. He
nothing.
hasn't played. He hasn't stepped on the field yet. That's crazy.
That's
But he
ter-
might.
that's
He might soon.
dude. That's terrifying. That's absolutely
To
terrifying. So
know that, yeah, we've got last year's number one just sitting in the wings,
just
waiting to
waiting.
be
Yeah.
deployed, and all the while Phil is feasting at 5-3. So that is scary for
Okay.
sure.
So think about this for Phil. Okay. So the guy's sitting with two quarterbacks with Joe Burrow, who's currently number 6 for
Yeah.
quarterbacks, 10th overall fantasy player. And then he's also got Jared Goff if he needs to go back, who's, surprisingly looking phenomenal this year, has a couple 40-point games under his belt. No lower than 20. So, I mean, great. That's absolutely awesome. Uh, I would say for the most part, those four running backs, like Chuba, I can't believe I gave him up, and he ended up being like the 12th fucking like
Oh,
running
you
back
gave
of
him
the
up?
season. I had to drop him. I've been having drop problems. Or sorry, not
Drop
Christian.
problems.
I've been having drop problems.
That
Goddamn, what's
sounds
his
like a
name?
toilet issue.
What's his name? Not going to IR like Puka did really hurt because I
Oh,
needed,
cup.
yeah, Cup not going to IR. I
You just had
needed
to, yeah, you had to ride it out.
I needed those goddamn bench spots. So, yeah, Chuba was an X, and he's been
He's been phenomenal,
great.
man.
Brian Robinson, I would say, has been pretty decent.
Yeah, a couple injury. He has little injury weeks here and there, but super
Josh Jacobs.
serviceable.
So Phil is sitting with the number 12, number 11 running backs. He's got Alexander Madison, who's been,
Oh yeah, I had Madison for a while and dropped him, but now he's kind of the sole running back in Las Vegas. Not that that means a ton, but playable.
yeah, he's got Shakir and Myers, who now Myers is like the number one option in Oakland, right?
Oh yeah, that's Phil's new piece that he picked
Right.
up. He won the waiver claim that a few others tried to get in on.
So right now, as much as I'm reading on his roster, it says that Nico Collins might be coming back week 10.
Oh shit. So okay, yeah, Nico Collins and potentially McCaffrey. That's scary.
Dude, inserting those into the lineup, like,
Woo!
I
The
mean,
fact that that Phil has managed to stay in, not just stay in, but
but yeah,
he was in first place. I
yeah,
stole his team name
you
because he was
did.
in first place. I gotta give some props to Phil. I mean, of all the guys in our league, I think he would admit that he knows the least about what's going on, in the NFL,
I
and
don't believe
doesn't
you.
follow it
I
as
don't.
religiously
I don't
as
believe. I don't
everybody
care.
else does.
I don't
But
believe
this
you.
year, I think he's come alive, and he's really getting into it. It seems like.
Dude, not only does Phil always choose some of the coolest fucking names, he always is fucking terrifying. He's been my fantasy nemesis, like all, all,
Yeah,
all the
he
way
is
from the
yours
beginning.
for sure.
Oh, dude, dude, Phil is my Michael Myers that I'm like looking around the corner to make sure that he's not there. We were talking about Halloween earlier. Um,
You're just Laurie Strode,
yeah,
just
exactly.
fearful.
Yeah, he's the boogeyman. But yeah, dude, I once he gets those players back, yeah, dude, Phil is going to be boogeyman. Like, dude,
Yeah, that's
John Wick
scary.
coming for yeah, Baba Yaga. Like that'll be a new team name for Phil fucking coming for the rest of the league. It'll be scary. Um and interesting enough, like looking at this, like Studley oh God, what is it? Like the Studliest team name I think I've seen. Oh, wait a minute, that's not my team name. That's your team name, you fucking dirty goddamn thief.
Yo!
Look at you.
The silent tyrant.
Yeah, that was I have to say
It fits nicely. I'm gonna wear it out.
it's not
Don't bag
bad.
it up. I'm wearing it out the store.
It's not bad. Like John threw that out at the draft, and I thought that was
Yeah,
very cool.
that's a good team name. I
Yeah.
know. I will say I'm at this kind of weird juncture though, where I've got myself in this. Let me just steal the team name of the first place team, and I don't know what to do if it fails me. I don't know if I go back to my old team name or if I have to think of something new. But hopefully we just don't even have to go there.
Well, I mean, I guess we'll see if it's a winning formula. Uh, we'll see. I
Yes.
mean, because I will say, like, you have had some unfortunate luck when it comes to the injury bug. Like you were just talking about, like, now DK Metcalf is, man, I didn't
Yeah, two
realize
games
he
in a
was,
row for him
oof,
now.
okay. And then Mike Evans is going to be out for,
I
they're
don't
saying
even know how
at
long.
least 4 weeks is what
Yeah,
his
like,
info
dude,
is saying.
just if it's 4 weeks, what is the designation minimum for going on IR?
I have no
Like,
idea. I think it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
yeah, I guess I don't want to know, but it's just like, could use an extra spot too.
Yeah, I would say.
But yeah, that definitely hurts. Um, but I mean, AJ Brown's in. Kamara has been great this season,
Oh,
riding hot.
dude, excellent this season.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah, number two RB,
He's had one
and
one bad game, and
yeah,
that's it.
yeah. And I don't want to jinx it, but I saw this week that the other backup running backs for the Saints are all injured and not supposed to be playing.
Oh,
So
so he,
there's
dude.
really, I mean, they have Taysom Hill who can be a TD vulture. That kind of sucks. But otherwise, I'm like, okay, looking good for Kamara. Jalen Hurts, I'm just riding my Papa stack as much as possible. And
Yeah, you've
like you
got some,
said, Darnell Mooney's been a real fun piece to have. Like, because
dude. He
he
has
gets
been.
the deep balls too, but he gets targeted enough that he's not like a Jamison Williams like deep ball catch TD or bust. Like he'll
hmm
get enough volume that like he just gets enough action to be very serviceable.
Yeah, no, and I'll say the your two flex like Laporta like coming on in who's had a great great
He
decent
finally
game last
had like
week.
a good game last week, and it's again because Jamison Williams is suspended.
hmm
So I'm just gonna ride Laporta for that. And
Yeah,
then yeah, Keon Coleman has
it's
been
been great.
nice,
This
and
especially last 2 weeks.
yeah,
22-19. Yeah, absolutely.
I
Like
don't know
I'm
what's up with it saying the Dolphins are the number one defense against wide receivers, but whatever. Like,
maybe
just gonna
that's
fucking
true.
go with it.
Maybe that's true. I don't know. I don't, yeah. No, dude, you've got some pretty scary pieces. And if Bucky Irving plays, like he's been really decent, like when he has been. Uh,
Yeah, good enough. Good enough to be in there. And then on some good matchups, he can go off pretty nicely. But I feel like I'm hanging on, taking the wins, feeling. I don't feel like I have a crazy dominant team by any means. If I can get Evans and DK back soon enough, I'll definitely feel a lot better. But
yeah.
I feel like almost the exact same as when we were going through teams several weeks ago, the last time I was on the podcast, where it's like like I'm not going to run over people for the most part, but I think there's enough pieces there to be, very competitive and still sneak some wins, especially if the other team doesn't perform to its fullest
Y-
extent.
Oh, absolutely. And I would say that you're the third highest scorer like of the league.
Which is it's
So
surprising to me. I don't feel like my team is that, but hey, stats don't lie.
no, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, you've got some scary pieces, so it's I've got my work cut out for me this week, so it's gonna be
Yeah, it'll be fun.
exciting.
I like the always like the podcast matchups.
Oh, they are the best. I still want I don't know, did we ever have we had our podcast Super Bowl?
No, we never have. We've met what at a couple times in the playoffs, but
Yes.
we've never met in the
Oh
championships.
man, that'll be it. That'll be the dream. Is getting
We if
in.
we okay, let's make a commitment that we don't have to hold ourselves to right now.
Okay. Perfect. I love
That
it.
if we are in the championships together, we will figure out how to do a video podcast
Oh, like and put that
to
one on up. Absolutely.
yeah,
I would totally do that. I
like
would
for
love to
that week.
do I would love dude, we better figure out a way to just like hang out. Like what like
Oh, and that would
fuck
be sick too.
yeah,
It's always around Christmas, so that's kind of tough. But
true. Well, wait a
um,
minute. What week would be our technical championship week? Is that week 16 or 17?
ooh, that's week 17.
So when is week
Yeah,
17?
look that up. NFL week 17. Oops, damn it. 16. It's Christmas.
The last week of NFL is Christmas?
No,
No.
the
No, oh,
last week of fantasy.
sorry, of fantasy is Christmas.
It's yeah, multiple Christmas games and then the weekend right after Christmas.
Gotcha. Where the fuck do you get to see that like playoff? Oh God, I do fucking
Are you on the desktop app?
yes, not the desktop app.
You son or the
I
desktop
the
browser.
yeah the desktop browser. It is absolute fucking garbage.
Yeah.
It
The
really
app,
is.
they dialed it in. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
easy
they
to
they
just
really
click
did.
the little bracket button and you can see
Yeah.
when the playoff weeks are.
So week
But all right.
17. Yeah.
So super strong commit slash we can easily just forget about it. But we'll try to do video if that ever
That
happens.
that may it may happen.
Yep.
But okay, talking about the last wrapping up the little where we are in the list. We've got Mr. Jamar Rock. Um,
Jamar Rock, number one highest scoring teams this year so far.
yeah, dude, and I mean
Gotta
he's
hand
got
it to Baker.
he's got pieces. Like you've got Jamar, who's got at least one 50 burger game. Like he is oh wow, he is the number one wide receiver.
Ooh, damn, I
Actually,
didn't know he was number one.
I
That's
didn't know that.
crazy.
Yeah. He's got Malik Neighbors, who's been excellent when he's been in. Uh
Yeah,
missed 2 games, but when he's in, he's
that's
not
true.
gone
That's
under
true.
10 points. So
Yeah.
that's great to see. Ramondre's been kind of very like hit and miss, but when he hits, man, he does hit really hard. So that's
Yeah.
been great. Jonathan
Same with
Taylor,
Jonathan Taylor. When
not been
he's
available.
in,
When he's
he's
in,
good.
yeah, he's excellent. And so he's in right now. Brock Bowers has been pretty fucking fantastic. Like I would say
For a tight end.
one of the only tight ends that's actually been
Yeah.
productive. Like only 2 games.
Number two tight end.
Yeah, I would
I,
say
quick sidetrack. Oh, I was like, who the fuck is the
it's got
number
to be
one tight
Trey. It's
end?
got to
But
be Trey
it's
McBride.
no, George Kittle, I
Oh,
think.
seriously? Let me see. Who's got George Kittle? That's what?
Yeah, it's George Kittle, and that's Will.
Oh, Will.
Yeah, by 10 points over Brock Bowers.
Oh, damn, you're
But
right. Only 1 game under 10
yeah, he's
points.
been because there's I mean, think about all the injuries at wide receiver for the 49ers. There's
True.
not a lot of targets to throw to over there.
No, there aren't. There aren't. Um, but yeah, so and then he's also got Waddle, who's not been great because well, no Dolphins receiver has been fucking great this year. So that's been troublesome. But he's got
Yeah,
some,
but better days, you know.
he's got some pieces. He's got like Brian Thomas, who's definitely been, man, I didn't realize this. Brian Thomas is the number 7 wide receiver this year.
Holy shit, dude! I didn't know that either. Damn,
No,
that's pretty crazy.
that is pretty crazy. He's got Pitts, who's actually number 4 tight end, who's actually had some pretty big games. Like the
Yeah,
last 4 weeks have been great. Like Pitts has been very startable. Uh,
yeah, very startable. And he has been playing T. Higgins along with Jamar Chase, and they've had some stacked up huge performances together.
yeah. So I mean, dude, Chris, I see a lot of reasons, and then you've got Baker, of course, who has been well
Yeah,
just
number two
fucking
QB.
amazing. Yeah,
God,
like he's got
what a surprise.
dude, he has 5 40-point games.
Like, dude, the Tampa Bay is like the same team that they were last year. And why is Baker so fucking good this year?
Dude, he's got a lot of like funny too because in the last oh my God, like in the last 3 weeks, he's thrown 10 touchdowns.
God
In the
damn,
same
dude.
time, he's also thrown 7 interceptions.
Oh wow. So he's just
He
slanging.
is slinging it.
That's
Jesus,
funny.
that
He's
is
just going
funny.
for it.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, but even still, 7 interceptions, but you're still putting up 40 burgers. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
3 weeks in a row with 40.
Oof. Huge.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then he's got Ramondre as his
Hmm.
other starting running back, which such a strange
Oh,
player or
dude,
just situation. Like
I think
he'll
that's
either
just,
have a really nice week or a terrible week. It's
dude, I
like,
think
what
that
player
is
is
the,
this?
I think you've got two totally different teams on the same team. I do not think that when Briskets, whatever,
Smokey Brisket.
Smokey Briskets, thank you, that was his nickname. Um, when he's playing, like when he's leading the team versus when like Drake May is leading the team, like they're two different teams. Um, I I don't know. I think it's just the Patriots are really hard to really kind of trust anybody. Like I ended up picking
Yeah.
up Demario Douglas, like hoping that there might
Oh,
be
okay.
something there, but he's been pretty quiet the last like couple weeks, so I don't know if he'll end up being a drop or not. We'll see. But anyway, yeah, for Chris, dude, his team is super goddamn scary. Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
did
Definitely
he
a good team.
have? No. Okay, so it was just Nate and Nick and John and Misha that had players that went this last Thursday.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
sorry, and Will did. Will had Mixon,
Right. Right.
who went
Yep.
went for 20. Damn, Joe Mixon.
Yeah.
Wow.
So good since he
Yeah,
came back.
yeah,
Oof.
absolutely. And then I guess we're left with the real
A
silent killer.
real?
The
Who's to
real.
say?
Oh, dude, the fucking God Emperor of Man is what
The
says.
God ever.
That's actually
Uh,
so when John gave me that name, I was just like, what the fuck thumbnail should I use? And so I've been getting it all into this, the Warhammer, the 40K, and
oh, okay.
like so the leader of man, like in 40,000 years, is this skeleton fucking dude. I don't even know what to call it. I gotta find this
It's a pretty
picture.
sweet image though.
Like, can you actually see? Like, I don't even know if you can
Yeah, you
see.
can
Like,
click on the little bubble and it makes it way bigger on my phone. So yeah, I can see yeah, he's like on a huge throne.
like a
There's just
golden
skulls
throne, right?
everywhere.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And so he is like yeah, a silent tyrant, basically, dude. He's fucking basically dead. Uh, but that's his title, the God Emperor of Man. And
Nice.
yeah. So I don't know. I thought it was very fitting being commish, and it feels like it's been a tough season, but I feel I've had some decent luck like kind of going through it. I feel a lot like my season's been a lot like the Chiefs have been this year.
Well, I mean, look, you're okay. Let's see. For points, you're down. You're number
Probably like six.
six.
Yeah,
Yeah, so you're
probably.
down towards the bottom, but points against, you have the least points scored against you. That helps.
It does. It really
So,
does.
not to take away, obviously, from getting, scoring points and all that, but that just goes. It does go with the territory of being one of the top two teams generally It's there. You just have to have some luck attached to it. You don't know how long it's going to last through a long season, but so far you're getting some, some good end of the stick, I would say.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And funny enough, talking about like points against, nobody has scored more points than poor fucking Will has gotten scored against him.
Oh
Like
yeah.
nobody's in the
By
12s.
such a margin, like 80-point differential between him and the next person.
Dude, it's rough. It is absolutely rough. So,
I can't I'm certainly not talking shit on you with like, oh, you're just getting lucky. Definitely not saying that. But and then I'm only 20 points of more points scored against me than you. I'm down there at the bottom with you. So yeah, we both haven't had a shitload of points scored against us.
no, no, but I will say it's the team, my team was hurting a little bit because I felt like I had dealt with a couple different really tough situations. That one week where I was going up against Nick, I, like my entire team was on bye. Like I might have had like one or two people, I think, like James Cook and maybe like Drake London were like the only ones available, and everybody else was like absolutely filling. That was a tough situation, but losing Cup, losing well, God, who else? Was it just? Yeah. Andrews was tough. I don't want to talk about Andrews because he's actually looked somewhat decent over these last few weeks, and he's just sitting there on the waivers. Um, I can't bring myself to pick him back up, so I feel so burned. But it's been interesting. I feel like I do feel like kind of like the Chiefs. Like it's been sloppy, but at the same time, it's gotten the job done. And
Yeah, I remember you had a nice fill in for at least a week or two with Wandale Robinson on the
no, and
Giants. I
he
was
was
like,
looking.
ooh, man, that's looking nice.
Yeah, no, and he had a great little run for a while. Last 2 weeks haven't been so great, but
Yeah, I
who
mean,
knows?
with Malik Neighbors back in,
Uh,
it's going to be a different story. But yeah, when Neighbors went out, that was a sweet little pickup right there.
yeah, and having Dobbs in for like a little bit, like he had a nice little spurt for a couple weeks, so that was like super helpful. Um,
Mm.
I
Oh, you
mean,
actually were playing him when he was on that little 2 game streak.
I think I had him at least for one of the games, if not
Yeah,
both of them. But like also, dude, a huge pickup I feel for me was definitely Kareem Hunt, like that.
dude, that's a big one right there. The touchdown streak that he's on, and he looks it looks good. I mean, he's on the Chiefs, so that's always nice. But man, yeah, what a pickup there. I gotta see you. Okay, you paid $15 for him, which doesn't seem like that much for a guy
Wait
like
for
that. I'd pay
oh for on
for
the
Kareem
on
Hunt.
was that all it really was? It can't be. It
Yeah,
had to have been more.
no, it was $15 back on October 1st. I
Jeez,
didn't realize that Nate had Kareem Hunt on September 16th. He got him just for $1 on waivers, but then dropped him the next week on the September 23rd. Then a week after that, that's when he was like a valuable target, and you got him for 15.
man, Nate has collected a lot of fucking valuable players. Uh,
Nate's always up on the
oh,
transactions.
dude, always. Nate is the wheeling dealer, dude.
Yeah.
He's got all the juggling balls in the air.
Yeah. But yeah, I
Um,
mean, you got obviously great pieces. Justin Jefferson has been, I mean, I would say exactly what you would expect. Maybe you expect him to be the number one receiver. He's the
I, I
number four,
I
but
all I want Justin Jefferson to be is consistent, which he has been, and that's like the only
whew,
week I've missed out is that
his
bye week.
lowest game is 17.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
that's amazing.
dude, he's been everything that I've needed. And the one
Yeah.
surprise I will say has been Aaron Jones. I wasn't sure how Aaron Jones was going to be with a new team, but given like the lead role again, and he has been like a
You
great
you love you love some Aaron Jones.
yeah, a good number two. And fucking,
Yeah, he's
I've
been nice.
been loving me some Cook. Like Cook has definitely saved my ass a couple weeks. Um,
Ah, I can't help but just
yeah, I
just
know.
drool back. Obviously, back at the draft. Yep,
Dude, we
good.
were both. Dude,
Good on
you're talking
you.
about all this complaining about nobody having any running backs. Like I feel it
I
was
should have
you and
paid up.
me.
I should have paid up.
You and me
That's
were
what it
both
comes down
desperate.
to.
We were both desperate
Yep.
at the end of the draft. Like we just didn't have neither of us had any running backs, and man, it's been a little tough. But I will say I know Pacheco is probably going to be coming back at some point, but I just will ride this fucking Kareem Hunt train as long as it can go.
Yeah, for
Um,
sure.
and then we'll see where we stand after that. But yeah, Cup's like back. Drake London, I've been pretty happy with. I mean, he's had a couple like down games, but for the most part, he's been phenomenal. Like
Yeah.
I've been, yeah, number 6. Wow, I didn't expect that actually.
Okay.
Okay,
Wow. Yeah, like outside of week one and last week, like really good outside of that.
dude, it's been yeah. I will say I'm definitely happy with a majority of like my team now that I'm getting like the pieces back. So I'm feeling pretty confident. Like I'm really curious to see if the DeAndre Hopkins thing, changes anything for Pat Mahomes because he's had a not a terrible
Yeah.
year. Like he only has one game where he's under 20 points, but even still, like with all these quarterbacks that are doing so excellent, like man, I feel he needs some help. He needs Travis Kelsey to start
Yeah.
going off. He needs wide
Yeah.
receivers like maybe a DeAndre to see.
Not
Uh,
really like the vintage Mahomes games this year
no,
so far.
not yet, but I mean, I'm hopeful. So I mean,
Not this week. That's just not this week.
no, it could absolutely be this week, dude. I mean, we've got a
I'd
Monday night
prefer it
game,
not to be.
a Monday night game against fucking Baker, Shaken
Dude,
Baker.
I know,
Like
I'm so scared about that.
it's gonna be, dude. That's gonna be a crazy game.
Yeah,
As
that should from just an NFL perspective, that's a really good, fun Monday
Yeah.
night watch.
Oh, absolutely. That's a good You're right. That is a really good Monday night game. But I mean, dude, we've got some like you and I have got some exciting matchups coming on up. Like I would say let's see. So do you have anybody other than okay, so other than Bucky Irving, that's the only person you have going on Monday, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then do you have a Sunday night game or are you just during the day and
No, it's all
afternoon?
just day and afternoon,
Okay.
so things will be pretty well established as at Sunday, at least for my side. So we'll kind of have to see what, yeah, I would assume, unless things really fall off, you will kind of know Sunday late afternoon what kind of hill you may have to
Yeah,
climb
exactly.
on Monday
I
and Sunday night too, because
dude,
you
I
have
don't.
Aaron Jones
Yeah,
going Sunday night and
ex
Justin Jefferson.
exactly. Like I'm now just kind of
Oof.
stressing about the Sunday
Oh
day.
my God. You have no oh, you have one Sunday morning game player
Yeah,
with Drake
I got
London.
no, no, no. I got
That's
cook.
so weird.
No, I got Cook going too.
Oh, and okay, okay, yeah,
So
that's true.
I got Cook in London in the morning.
Yep,
I've got Cup in the afternoon. I've got the Philly defense. All right, so that Philly game is going to be a
yeah,
big one for us.
that's true
Um,
too. Yeah,
But yeah, I've got yeah the Vikings, Aaron Jones and Justin Jefferson against Indy for the Sunday game, which should be Sunday night game. That should be interesting. Cup is going against Seattle in the afternoon. Dude, it's gonna be
yeah. I don't know. This is not the kind of fantasy matchup schedule that I like, where it's just like I got all my guys going in the morning and the afternoon, and then you just have to sit and wait to watch like four really good pieces go for both of those night games. Like, ah, oh God, I gotta sweat this one out now.
well, dude. All right. I'm sweating at the beginning. You're sweating at the end. I feel is gonna be kind of how it would
That's
go.
true. Yeah, you're scoreboard watching in the morning, and then I'm just gripping my couch cushions for the rest of the games.
Shit, man. I'm definitely nervous. You've got some insanely scary pieces. Like the stack, I would say probably has proven to be the most effective stack this year. Like I know AJ Brown missed some time, but when he's been playing, dude, it's been so solid.
Oh yeah, yeah. He missed 3 games, and then he already had the bye. But outside of that, yeah, he's been like pretty much around Justin Jefferson levels of productivity.
Yeah, Jalen has been fucking terrifying. Like
Yeah,
48 last week.
thankfully, God, he's been. he's been salvaging some questionable offensive team issues. So, and
Yeah.
throwing a lot of interceptions, but now he's starting to kind of get into a groove here.
Dude, I didn't actually realize. So yeah, that Buffalo game is going to be big for you and me. Like, there's some games that we are tied and connected to. That
That's
Atlanta
true.
that
Yeah.
that Atlanta game in the morning. You've got Mooney going. I've got fucking London going. Like,
Yeah,
ooh,
that'll just be we'll be watching
yeah, we'd be
Cousins
watching a lot of the
chuck it
same.
around and say, "Who is that? Who's that?"
Yeah, we're watching the Monday night game
Yeah,
for. Oh yeah, dude, this is going to be a it's going to be a tough week. Um, I'm
it's
anxious
going to
and
be hard.
excited.
It's going to be hard to predict, how it's going to go
Yeah.
until I mean, I don't know.
Uh,
Hopefully until deep into Monday night.
Well, we'll see. I'm really hoping that this will be at least a competitive week for everybody coming
Yep.
around. I feel it's like it's except for dude, poor Will. Um, who,
Yeah.
dude, I mean, even still, we were talking about his team, and his team is looking like good, and it's got some like potential. Like I don't know, like there could be greater days ahead. Like we said, he could go on a crazy streak. I don't know. We've got all the way eighth and ninth could make a run and get all the way up to the top. Who knows? It's going to be pretty exciting, I would say, for the rest of the year.
I think so. Yeah. No, this has been a nice like full on mid-season roundup of just everything where we're at right now. And yeah, man, it's going to be pretty wild. I feel like could not predict how things are going to look fast forward 6 weeks from now as we're like getting into the playoffs. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, I would say, and that should I would hope just keep everybody like excited and into it, like that there's always like a possibility of like, if you're having a rough season, turning it around, if you're having a decent season, like getting a better, positioning or, trying to get, top seeding, like whatever it is, like it's dude, it's up for anybody. It's
Yeah.
dude, it's awesome. I'm loving this season.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I'm really enjoying it and can't wait to keep it going.
Yeah, no, and we're already like fucking almost an hour and a half into this goddamn
Yeah,
podcast.
I feel like this has been
Um,
one of the longer ones, but it is nice to get to kind of deep dive everybody's
yeah,
team and just
exactly.
take
Not
stock of really where we're at right now.
absolutely, and not really talk about too many matchups other than our own. It's
Of
great.
course.
I love it. I feel like that's the way to go. I don't know about any magic number or anything. I'm gonna say uh, 7,
Just seven. Okay. Seven.
7, 7.
I think seven is Bucky Irving's number, so we're definitely gonna go with that.
Never mind. You know what we should do? We should do 18. We should do I got to think about other numbers
You
on my
can't change it
team.
now.
Yeah, I think we got to do what is it? Oh yeah, we got to do 15 for Big Mahomes. We got to do oh what is Jones? 33. Yeah. Like if you guys say any of my team numbers for my players, yeah, you'll get I don't know,
That's
something.
actually fair. That's fair. That's a good one to throw out. If anyone says any of Brian's team numbers,
I gotta start
you win the
remembering
money.
all. I gotta start remembering them all. God damn it. There's so many fucking players.
I think if anybody just throws a random number into the chat, then
He
I think
might,
we'll know what's going on.
he might, dude. They'll start throwing out your players' numbers like 4 and what is CD Lamb's number? Is he 88?
80, 88, that's right.
88,
Yeah.
dude. Fucking shitting on Des Bryant.
That's right, huh?
Yeah, yeah, dude. Dude, nobody talks about Des Bryant no more. Fuck.
No,
So
no, those
many
days are
overrated
over.
fucking Cowboys receivers. Productive, but overrated.
Yeah.
Oh, Derek, if you
Yeah.
heard that, you'd be so pissed right now, but you're not hearing this. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and call it a night. Thank you for
Let's wrap it.
yeah,
Yep.
sticking with us, you guys, and I guess we'll be seeing you out in the field.
We'll see you guys on Sunday. See what let's get in the chat.
Yeah, do stuff.
Do stuff.
Do it.
Hell yeah.
Do it.